M0FXP, I haven't got a box chip, but a friend has, so I've been playing around with the programming software. This is what it looks like. I'll show you where to get it from. There'll be a link in the description, so go here and then you just click download 900 and you'll get a zip file. So just going to focus this particular video on the actual CODEPLUG. So I've found a file that you get from Boxchip, which has loaded up all of the talk groups here, contacts and everything. So that makes it a lot easier, and just email Boxchip for this. It's like an example file. The main thing is general settings. Get your call sign in here. Let's get it in there. M0FXB, and your DMR ID 2341437, like so. Then you've got all these different contacts. All these different contacts here. And then underneath that, you've got the channels. So the contacts, this section here says contacts, is basically all the DMR talk group numbers, and you can add them. You can add more. These are the ones that they've got by, but you can just right click here. You can add a talk group. You can you actually give it the number here. So let's just put one in by random, 500, like so. But when you actually name it, so this is 4491 East. Actually, no, you name it here. So you right click and then you rename it. So if we do the one beneath and rename it, we'll just name it 500. And then if you want to actually change it, when you double click it, you change the number here, 500. There you go. That's the main thing. So when you double click it, you're seeing 500. So let's just pause. We've got the dog here a minute. So we're sort of learning this as we go. I haven't got the radio. We've got contacts. We just talked about that. We've got channels. Here's channels. Yeah, we got channels, but you have got zones. See these three little circles here? That's a zone. These are zones that have been added by Boxchip, where they've created their own CODEPLUG. So they've created a zone here for their hotspots, and they've another small zone here for GB7FI. Here, these are zones, and what they've done is GB7FI will be like a repeater in the UK, and they'll put in all these different talk groups are for GB7FI. And so they have to put in all these different talk groups if they want to use it properly. But all of the frequencies of these channels they've created will be the same. Look, 430-88750, that is a GB3FI. But it could be your local DMR repeater. But you get it, they're re-adding all of the talk groups, channels, into this zone. Now I'll just show you one of the obvious ones is like, let's say 4000 unlinked. Look, so click it here, and underneath these are actually channels. So see these two little squares, they're channels, and if you go over here, this is a digital channel. So look, 4000 unlinked, color code, time slot, it's all correct. And then so when you go to zone that's called GB7FI slot 2, you'll be able to then when you turn the channel change knob, it will go through all these channels here. If you get to this channel, you'll be able to use it. Say you wanted to add a completely new zone, just go to the bottom. See where it says Andreas zone? I've just added this. Just right click the little three circles, click add zone, and see we've got another zone here. Now you're able to add your own channels. Now you've got all these ones created, but if you want to add your own channel, all you do is see the little squares, double click where it says digital, yeah? And it's automatically added a digital channel. Now you can add a channel like this, add analog channel or add digital. So if we go add analog, we've now got here at the bottom an analog channel and a digital. Now you're just entering the frequencies and everything like a normal DMR radio. So let's do digital first. We'll double click that up here. So we need to give it a name. So where it's highlighted in blue, let's call it, rename, it's digital, let's just call it GB7, I'm just going to randomly say one here, ZB. Okay, so we've now named it. So you don't have to name it here, and you can't name it here. It's done it down here. but you do need to get the frequencies in there. So I'm not going to change them, but look, just type your frequency here of the repeater. You've got the input and the output. So the repeater you can hear is on the receive. When you key the mic is the transmit, and that'll be the shift. So keep the power at high. Now find out the time slot from the repeater keeper, but it's normally 1 and say normally 3 for a repeater. But you do need to select the contact. Remember that the contact is the talk group number. Now here it's defaulted at TG1, yeah? But you can click down and you can choose. Say you want it to be just, some people might just like it on talk group 9 because they can just use their repeater to do all the work. So it's put that channel at talk group 9. This one here, GB7ZB. Okay. So let's just show you how to add a contact, because obviously contacts, there's some pre-recorded one here, but you would need to add some contacts. So go right to the top, look. You've got contacts. Now these are all basically talk groups. And there are thousands. They've just added some here for you. All you want to do, if you want to add one, just right click, click add, and it will be group call. It's always group call with DMR. And go right to the bottom, because it will be at the bottom. And look, the group call that it's added. Let's have a look. It's here. Let's get it right, just so we did it correctly. Just add. No, that's channel. Sorry, add. I need to go right to the top again. That was contacts. We're not adding contacts at the moment. Well, we could do add contact. Let's go add contact. Add group pool contact. Let's put it right at the bottom. Let's do it here so you can see it. Add digital channel. That's a channel. We know how to do that. As you can see, we can change that. We've just done that. Now we're trying to add a contact. Let's go back up again. Contacts. Add. Right. Add a group call. Maybe it's add a individual call. Let's go down. These are the ones that we've been adding in. These things here. So look. Group 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, let's just show you again. I just want to add individual. That's a person. Right, I get it. So that's an individual. Like it could be your friend and his DMR number. But we're adding a group call. So we go add group call. And look, it's adding it here. We've got group 9 that's just been added. So yeah, and you can delete them as well. Look, delete. I think I added way too many there, didn't I? Now remember, I'm sort of learning this, so back to contacts. So let's say you've added contact. You've gone right click, add contact, add group call contact. So go to the group call, and the number one thing is give it a number. You can't duplicate. It has to be a new number. We'll try and think of one that hasn't been created. So we'll call it 8,000. And it says group call here. Right, and now it's group 3, so we can rename that. We'll call it 8,000. Okay, so we've now added a contact, because you always need to create a contact before you create a channel. So there's your contact, number 8,000. So now we go to channels. Now let's go to add channel. So we'll go right click, add digital channel. Okay, then it's created this number here, D400. Double click that. Now let's rename it. And we're going to call it 8001 channel. That's just what we're going to call it. So we've already named it. Now we've got to add the details. So if we want it to say be 8000, click where it says default contact, because this is important, because this is what DMR is going to use to communicate. See 8000 here that I've just created? Then we want the color code. Like again, on a hotspot it's normally 2, but on a repeater it'll be 3. Time slot 1 or 2. Just use 1. Find out from the repeater keeper. And then the frequency here, you would put in, say, the frequency of either your repeater or your hotspot. So just put 300 for if it's simplex for your hotspot at home. So I'm just putting that in. 430.300. There you go. So So you've now created a channel, you've linked it to your contact number, which is basically the talk group you're going to be using, and you've put it into a zone, and the zone that channel is in is called QTH hotspots. You see, but if you wanted to, we've added a zone here by going right click. Zone is like groups of channels, so you can find it on your device. Right click, add a zone. We just added another zone there, zone 3, and then you could rename the channel. We'll call this one 9000. I'm going over it again just to teach myself. Then you double click the 9000 and you'll see the channel here, and then you can do what I've just done, yeah? Or you could see it's a zone 3 here. You could add a channel, but this time you add an analog channel. So that'll be your FM, normal FM analog repeater. So this is all 70 centimeter on this radio. So let's just go 43.000. So that's what you can hear. And then let's say there's a 9 megahertz shift, 43. Let's just change that to 430. There we go. I'm just doing random frequencies here. And then 439.000. So we've got the shift in. We're going to need the tone. So let's just say it's CTSS and it's 77. CCSS 77. You find out this from the repeater keeper. So we've now just created an analog channel. We can name it as well because we haven't named it yet. At the moment it's called A400. Now don't forget, you can't name it here. You have to name it down here. So right click, rename, and then we're going to go GB3 it'll be, and then we'll call it ZB again. Okay. Once we hit that, and look, it's renamed it. So you're now going to be able to find this in your radios. I hope this gives you an idea. Now you can save this kind of stuff just by going save here, and you can either overwrite the example that you get from Boxchip, or you can create a new one. So I'll create a new one. I'll call it Andreas 2. Don't forget, I haven't got this radio. I'm just learning it for a friend. Andreas 2 save. So you can save it. See? And then you can open that as well. If you go open, go to that Andreas 2, double click, and it will open it. So this is just about the code plug, but don't forget, when you first get the radio, you've got to install the APK and update it, and that adds a lot of information for you anyway. But this is just about playing around with the code plug. Hope this helps you get an idea of how to use this code plug. 7.3, all the best.